All
Good
right.
morning,
Hi,
Pamy.
morning.
So, what's the plan for today? Where are we?
Okay, so today is day two at Euroshop. Our plan is to hit the green zone with refrigeration and food services. And then, yeah, later in the afternoon, we will have our supplier, AHT, who will take us around for some supermarket visits. So, we're looking forward to today. It's very different from what we did yesterday, which is packed. So, yeah, today is more for supermarket chiller stuff. Yeah.
So, are you doing halls 14 to 16 today?
Yep, it is.
Okay,
16,
so,
16, 15, 14, and like the light green zone for services.
all right,
Yeah, all right.
nice. Looking forward to it.
So yeah, right now we're at the refrigeration hall. So yeah, we're gonna go look for the rest of the gang member who's apparently having coffee at the supplier stand. But yeah, while going there, we'll check out the rest of the stuff that they have here today. This one looks quite cool. It has a cold display, neutral, and hot and steam display, which we rarely see. Yeah, my first time seeing it. Yeah, really cool. Yeah, let's walk around the booth and we'll take a look at it. Right, now we're looking at a pre-authorization chiller unit, which is quite cool. So yeah, you have to click here, pay with your credit card, then only can open. Then there's camera and yeah. So yeah, then it's weighted system also. Yeah. All right, cool.
So, as we are seeing here, there's a lot of chillers. I think companies like this also do a variety of stuff, which would be whether it's from chillers to display cases to sometimes shelving and rackings as well. So, these companies are very sort of diverse in what they are capabilities of offering, and we can see here from HT, which specializes in chillers and freezers and refrigeration systems. You can see the designs are very sleek, a lot of glass, uh, and you're looking at some of the back ends, and you can see some of the chillers. You're looking at it; they're very sleek, they're very modern. The tendencies to have a lot of glass and a lot of corners where if you look at it, it's really about the cleanness, seeing the product very clearly. And now we're actually walking towards our supermarket visits for the day, and as I take you through this, you can see very much the designs of most of these chillers are pretty much the same. It's just a difference in material, whether the finishing is in white powder coated or it's stainless steel mixed with a bit of timber to give it that more homely feel. So in terms of looking at the different types of chillers, it's really very much what is your style, what is your concept that you're going for your space, your bakery, your supermarket. And you can see a lot of them tend to try to use different materials, wood, stainless steel, to sort of create a differentiation factor. Uh, some of them are just chillers dressed up, chillers dressed up with stickers. You also have, of course, what you see here on the right, some glass manufacturers as well, where they're trying to break down the process. You don't have to replace the whole chiller. You can just have sort of replace the glass alone. Then you have chillers from suppliers like this in China, which are black and focus mainly on, I guess, uh, cost. So after a while walking through this whole refrigeration floor, what you're really seeing is not that much a diversification in terms of technology, but you're seeing a lot more in terms of costing. So after a while, it really becomes something of what is the cost you want, and everyone's putting up sort of the same or similar concepts, where it's really very much about the design and then the cost you're prepared to pay. So a lot of these supplies, as you can see, are very much from the European side. So a lot of the production is basically done in Eastern Europe, whether Poland or around the region. Whereas what you can see, if it's an Asian show, it'll be very much focused on supplies from China mainly. You see very few Japanese players here, with the exception of brands like Daikin, which are more global. Uh, you see very much a lot of the suppliers here are mainly catering towards the region in Europe. So that's why we like to go to these shows, right? Because you really get to see how Europe is developing, because it's in a sense far away enough. What I want to highlight here is this very interesting round display.
Alright, now today actually was a very short expo day. We are now following the supplier to do some supermarket visits. So yeah, we're all on the bus.
So this was basically a sort of an hour and a half drive away from Dusseldorf. Some of the sites that you're seeing, really the shipping's a very suburban area. I'm not sure why they brought us here. I think the idea was generally so that they can show us their newly installed water loop system in this railway supermarket. So as you can see, it's a very small town. As we're going through here, you're really seeing their front entrance is very small. The tendency is, what's interesting is that they put goods all the way in front without any fear of sort of customers stealing. I don't think this is something that you'd see in Asia, specifically not here, but maybe in a more developed country like Germany. Bakeries are always on the left as you come in, so that smell of cooked bread. And like every supermarket, you really see the fresh fruits and the right staring you right in the face, and on the right you'll see sort of the chillers. What I'm doing now is I'm taking you around the space. So a little bit of background about this location we're at. It's actually a mining town, so you can see hence a little bit of those wooden structure, fake timber structures that they put up to sort of simulate being in a mine. But you see that concept play out even stronger in the next railway, but it's a pretty standard um, design. You can see chillers all the way with the cheeses, the fresh fruits. And what we have in front now is we're heading into sort of like the butchery area, where it's a whole segregated area of cooked meats on your right, raw meats and fresh meats for purchase, your hams. So the design is very simple. There's only one sort of ceiling display throughout the whole area. If you can see now, they have a little cute step here for the kids to purchase or request for things, or maybe people who are smaller size who may not be able to see everything. So this is really like a little bit of a barnyard concept mixed with some mining concept. Not sure why they have a difference in floor finishings. Probably to demarcate the grocery in the fresh area, which makes a lot of sense. But as you're coming up on the right side here, they had a little drinks counter inside the barn there, the barn food meat area, which I'm not really sure why. It's again another segregated area. But yet it's easy for customers to transition. So not sure why they put drinks inside here all of a sudden. But as you can see, Haribo is the brand of to note here. They're everywhere. Their presence is very, very strong. And one thing that's unique about this supermarket is as you can see, I'm going to show you a little bit here in a bit. They kind of favor a very segregated sort of a U-turn, like a little brand corner, but they're not really brand corners. They're more like I wouldn't say brand corners, but I would sort of call them little product corners, where they sort of have different categories. So, if, for example, we are in the baking categories now, and you can see some of them is drink category or Japanese category. So they tend to favor this kind of U shape, and this is not the only supermarket that did this. You'll see it in the next one as well. But everything's very, in that sense, simple. It strikes me that the design of their German supermarkets are very utilitarian. It's not seen as a luxury like how we look at it in our region, where supermarkets are broken into that kind of category. But it seems like Railway is very much a very utilitarian design supermarket, where
Good morning from the Mofi booth. So I'm here with Wanya. Hello, say everybody. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. And I think Bhavani is doing the little robot.
Yeah, we are
Controlling the robot, right? Yeah, so little robot is over here. Where's the robot? Yeah. He's like, and there's the other big robot is a key attraction, right? Yeah, they attract quite good attraction to the show. So I see a lot of people like very impressed stopping by the stand. Yeah. Hello, little puppy. All right. How's the show so far, Bhavani?
So far, so good. We got an incredible crowds visiting us to see the Morphe brand and also our robotics.
Yeah. All right. Cool. See you guys later.
Mofi also has a robotics division to help with your work in the lot, whether it's to stack the shelves or it's to help with cleaning. You can always look for Mofi for your robotic purposes, and you can also rent these two robots for your marketing activities. So here we have the next railway outlet, which was about 15 minutes from the first one. And as you can see coming in, you can really, it's no difference. Again, gray headboard on a red signage. And again, you see the same products being sold outside with no fear of anything being stolen or goods being stolen. So I think these change periodically because we're going to spring. Again, you see the bakery on the left side. So the layout's exactly the same. Coming in on the right, you have your fresh produce. But what's incredible is that they start the chillers from the right side, and we're here to see the water loop system from AHT, which is a brand new refrigeration system where just using water to sort of run the refrigeration. There's no need for copper pipings, and it's just water exchanges. So it's apparently lower operating costs and lower maintenance overall. And if the chiller is spoiled, it can be replaced within sort of 24 hours. So there's not much on top of that. That's why you see on top of it all the signage is closed, because there are water pipes running on the right side above where the signage boards are. So as you can see, the layout's exactly the same coming out. They have very long chiller lines. They have a lot of fresh product on the chillers, whether it's drinks, ready to eat food, cheeses, meats, and then moving on, I think you would see sort of not so distinctive a difference in terms of the way things are laid out. It's suddenly there's just meat here. I think this place also has a sort of frozen, uh, sorry, a fresh meat section, but and it's inside this area, this enclosed area here. But as you can see, it's different. This is not separated. There you have the separation of the flooring here. And here was interesting that you had cheeses first, then followed by your fresh meats, whether it's pork, beef, chicken. It's all in the back there. What was unique about this place was the very strong thematic mining uh, design elements. So we had this little structure here on the right, here on top there. You can see it in the graphical inlay. They had an intake fan as well. Sort of just it is not a functioning fan, it's just there for decorations. So what I could research was potentially this. What I could research about this whole town is it's mining. It's a mining town, so they're very. I think it was coal mining, if I'm not wrong. So there you can see again the very U-shaped layout style for the different product categories, and that was what we found very unique about the store's layout. They seem to like this layout to create these artificial categorization areas. So what's interesting and very funny here is that what I'm pointing here now and stopping here is that um, a lot of these products are under lock and key, things that you would never imagine in sort of Asia. Lock and key in terms of things like shampoo, uh, uh, also in terms of not only that, in terms of things like what else did I see there? Razors. These are all things that are under lock and key, which is very unique. So we're coursing through the wine section here. So as you can see, snacks being sold next to the wines, which make it very interesting. But what I like was the floor element. They tried to do sort of a metal deck flooring, but it wasn't really metal deck. It's just a little bit of a vinyl style and a metal deck, which is really interesting for them to demarcate the wine area. Moving on to the frozens, which had your ready to eat frozen meals where you just go back, dump in the refrigerator. They had these little nice uh sort of icons on the glass, which was I found very interesting and didn't find it in any other supermarkets. So for this one, the drinks is more towards the end, near the end lot counters. So what you will find very commonly in a lot of supermarkets in Europe, as you can see on the right just now, was the recycling, where you any bottle or aluminium can that you bring in, you'll be given sort of like store credit for you to spend. So they're very big on that recycling aspect, and they actually attach a fixed value to it. Like I think cans are 25 cents, bottles maybe about 30 euros cents, that kind of thing. So really you can see the supermarket again very utilitarian in terms of the ceiling design, the flooring, muted colors, and as we walk out here you can see the bakery there. So to me it's the very common design that you've seen from the first store design as well. So that sort of wraps up the second store walkthrough, and let's move on to the wrap up of the day.
Hey everyone, Tim here. So obviously we're back in Malaysia, doing the second day review of the Euroshop. We really didn't get a chance to do it when we were back in Germany. So I think looking through the second day review of this, what I could say was there's very much been even in the areas of chillers, freezers, at least the first part of the day from the videos you can see that there's really been a growth in the idea of trying to reduce the cashier's role in the business, whether it's in physical retail in terms of non-F&B or F&B or supermarket business, because we saw a lot of technology where they were talking really a lot about self-checkout. So particular highlight was this brand called Okma, where they had a freezer that allowed you to sort of tap your credit card and purchase at the point of the freezer itself. So that was a particularly interesting highlight to me, and really sort of one of the things that I thought about when looking at how we could sort of ease the whole checkout experience for the customer. I think the other things were just generally a change in terms of design by being more sleek, a lot more use of colors and simple corners in terms of the design elements for the freezers. So we didn't really see much on that day, except because the second day was again highlighted by the fact of us needing to go for a supermarket visit, where we were taken by AHT for a supermarket visit of the different supermarkets in KL. Sorry, not KL. I mean in Germany. And what we found particularly interesting was, I guess I didn't know why we had to go so far. We basically went to a place that was close to 3 hours away from Dusseldorf. I guess that's where they installed the system, so they really wanted us to see the refrigeration system. But in terms of design, generally I can see that German design is very much about just having sort of the supermarket presented as a utilitarian need. I wouldn't say that there's no design emphasis taking place here, but I think very much you can see that the design is very utilitarian in nature. It's very simple. The designs are mostly very much focused on getting you in, minimal design aesthetics. It's more about the product. It's more about smooth flows where everything's easy to find. Layouts are simpler. There's not so much of a intricate journey between your entry and to your experience in the checkout. Though we did find funny is that they love to create sort of artificial corners within the store. This was reflected in, I think you can see both of the supermarkets visited. There were corners that were created. They're not specifically brand corners, but it's more of product category corners. And we noticed they liked that kind of layout style. Now, in terms of design, I think there were better design supermarkets in the city of Dusseldorf, in the city of Cologne, which we visited, which we'll show you later in another video. But in that one, I think I'll show you more of where I think the design element was a little bit more sophisticated. So overall, second day was very interesting, something we haven't done before, where we actually visited a supermarket and we were taken on a visit of the supermarket retail scene, and really helped us to really understand a little bit more of the psyche of the German consumer with regards to their relationship on supermarkets. So I hope you stay tuned for our third and final video about Euroshop, which we'll get to very soon. And I look forward to giving you then what's going to play out in our podcast is really our overall experiences between Pamy and myself on what we thought about the whole Euroshop Expo, and whether it be worth your time, what was the good points, what was the bad points. So that's coming up in our future videos. So stay tuned. Remember to like and subscribe our channel if you want to see more. And of course, do feedback on what you think we could be doing better or what topics you like to hear from. In fact, what we love to do in the future segments of our podcast is really get into the questions that you guys have about your retail. How do you start designing a great retail outlet? How do you look for the right locations? These are sort of questions that we love to be able to share with you on our future podcasts. See you soon. Bye.